Namaste children, how are you all? I hope you are fine and welcome to today's maths class. So till last class we discussed about perimeter and area. So today I am going to introduce a new chapter. It is congruence of triangles. Congruence of triangles. So what are triangles? What is congruence? So in this chapter we have two things are there. The first part of the chapter is the basic thing. What is congruency? What are its rules? What are congruent figures? What are congruent line segments? What are congruent angles? What are congruent triangles? How do we represent the congruent triangles? Then what are all equal if two triangles are congruent triangles? After this, the last concept it is the most and important concept it is criteria, congruency criteria of triangles. When we can say that two triangles are congruent, when we can say that the two triangles are not congruent. So we have some criteria are there. Those criteria we will discuss in the next class. That is the second part of this chapter. So now before going to introduce this chapter, first of all we will discuss what is a triangle. A triangle is a polygon. A triangle is a polygon. We have studied in chapter number 6 the triangle and its properties. So triangle we study the median, altitude and properties of triangles like equilateral triangle, isosceles triangle and right angle triangle. Some inequalities of the triangle also we have studied in chapter number 6 the triangle and its properties. So now let me give you a brief introduction about this triangle. What do you mean by a triangle? A triangle is a polygon. A triangle is a polygon. Tri means three. Angle means an angle. So a polygon made up of three angles or three sides. Polygon made up of three sides, and this is the polygon with least number of sides, which is known as the triangle. So a triangle has how many sides are there? Let this is triangle ABC is a triangle. So here we have three sides are there. That is side AB, side BC and side AC. That is AB, BC and CD are the sides of the triangle ABC. And what are the angles? Angle A, angle B, angle C, angle A, angle B and angle C. Angle A, angle B and angle C. Then along with angles and sides we have the third part, it is there, vertices. We have three vertices are there. Vertex A, vertex B and vertex C. So what are these? These are the three sides of triangle ABC, and angle A, angle B, angle C are three angles of triangle ABC. Then vertex A, vertex B, vertex C, all these are the vertices of triangle, vertices of triangle ABC. So we have an idea about the sides. Sides it is what? A line segments. Sides they are nothing but the line segments. That is the distance from one point to the other point is known as the line segment. Now, so this is about the triangle. So here we are going to study about the congruence of triangles. First of all, we should have an idea about the sides, angles and vertices. So a triangle is made up of sides, that is line segments and angles. Line segments and angles we are going to study about here. Before studying this congruence of triangles, we will study congruent line segments. Congruent line segments is nothing but congruent sides, then congruent angles. So now what is the meaning of the congruence? What is the meaning of the congruence? It is a relation of objects which are congruent. What are congruent figures or congruent objects? Congruent objects. Congruent objects. So what are congruent objects? The objects which have same size and shape. The objects which have same size, which have same size and shape. Same size and shape. Size and shape are called congruent objects. Are called congruent objects. Congruent objects. Yes. For example, you see the 1 rupee coins of same kind or 2 rupee coins of same kind, or the postal stamps of same kind, or you see the postcards. So if you place one postcard over the other, both will be coincided with each other. Means we will call them, or the each postcard is a copy of the other. Or even if you take the coins, 1 rupee coins, if you place 1 rupee coins of same kind, the coins will occupy the same space. That is one above the other. That is superposition. Then what we can say? Each coin is a copy of other coin. Each coin is a copy of other coin. Or you take your textbook cover page. Take 2 textbooks of your mathematics textbook of 2 books. Then you place the cover page over the one over the other. Both will coincide with each other. That is, it is superposition takes place. Then we can say that each page is a copy of the other figure. That is, it is nothing but the xerox. See, for example, you take a passport size of your 2 passport size photos of the same size, passport size. You place it one over the other, you will get the same size and same shape. So these figures are known as congruent figures. What are congruent figures or congruent objects? Which look same. The one is a copy of the other one. One object is copy of the other one. When it is possible, if they have same size and same shape. So such objects are known as congruent objects. That relation is known as congruency. What is congruency? Here it is congruency. So congruency is, it is a relation of congruent objects. Congruent objects. A relation of congruent object or objects which are congruent. Both will be same. A relation of congruent objects is called congruence. Then how do we represent? What is the symbol for congruency? The symbol for congruency is the symbol for congruency. The symbol for congruency is yes, this is the symbol for congruency. We will use this symbol to represent the 2 congruent figures. So now we will discuss about the congruent line segments. I gave you many examples of congruent figures like postal stamps, coins of your textbook, the cover pages. Many things you can take as the congruent objects. Now, congruent line segments. What are line segments? Congruent line segments. What are line segments? As I told, it is a part of the line between 2 points is known as line segment. It has 2 end points are there. Now, what are congruent line segments? What is the shape of the? Does the shape of the line segments will have different shapes? No, they have the same shape. Then in which way they are different? Yes, that is in their lengths. That is the length of the line segments. If the length of the line segments is same or equal, if the length of the any 2 or more than 2 line segments is same or equal, then we call such line segments are known as the congruent line segments. They are known as congruent line segments. So what is the measure here to check whether the given line segments are congruent or not? Yes, it is their length. If the length of the line segments is same or equal, then we call such congruent line segments are known as congruent line segments. So now what are congruent line segments? the line segments with same length, with same or it is equal length, same length or equal length, same length or equal length are called congruent line segments. They are called congruent line segments. Congruent line segments. Congruent line segments. See, for example, let AB is a line segment with measurement it is 5 centimeters. AB is 5 centimeters, and one more line segment it is CD. This is also, if it is equals to 5 centimeters, C and D, 5 centimeters. Yes, AB and CD both are line segments and their lengths are equal. Therefore, what we can say, AB and CD both are congruent line segments. They are congruent line segments. Therefore, AB is congruent to line segment AB is congruent to line segment CD. We will write symbolically. How do we read? Line segment AB. Line segment AB is congruent to line segment CD. So here the two line segments are congruent means what does it mean? Yes, their lengths are equal. So this also we can write this as what? Length of AB is equals to length of CD. Length of AB is equals to length of CD. So when we can say that two line segments are congruent, if their lengths are equal or same, then we can say that the two line segments are congruent. So what are congruent line segments? The line segments with the same or equal length are called congruent line segments. If two line segments are congruent, then their lengths are same. Is it clear, children? What are congruent objects? What are congruent line segments? Now we'll discuss congruent angles. Yes, now congruent angles. What are congruent angles? Before going to study about congruent angles, first let us recall angle. What is angle? Yes, it is a geometrical figure which is obtained by joining, by combining, by fusing of two rays with a common endpoint. The common endpoint is known as an angle. So what is an angle? It is a geometrical figure which is obtained by joining two rays. Let this is ray BA ray and one more ray, it is BC ray. Now this geometrical figure is known as angle. So this is an angle, angle ABC. This is what? Angle ABC or angle CBA or angle B. Simply we call it as angle B. Now here, what are congruent angles? Does the shape of the angles will be same or different? Yes, their shapes is same, but their measures are different. One angle may be 60 degrees, the other angle may be 70 degrees, or both may be 60 degrees, or both may be 90 degrees, 60 degrees, 70 degrees, like different measures will be there for angles. But even if this is angle ABC, if I extend like this is also an angle. It is A and this is B and this is C. Why here? The length of BA ray, it is extended. Do you find the length of any ray? Yes. Do you find the length of any ray? No, not at all, because a ray will extend endlessly in one direction. So you cannot find what is its length. But we can measure the length, we can measure the size of the angle. This is the size of the angle. That is nothing but the measurement. We can measure the angles. Now what are congruent angles? So as I told, congruent figures, they have the same size and shape. Here shape is also same, angles have the same shape. but their measures are different, that is size is different. So hence here congruent angles are the angles having same measure or equal measure are called congruent angles. So what are congruent angles? Angles with same measure. Angles with same or equal measure are called congruent angles. So what are congruent angles? They are the angles with same measure. With same measure or equal measure are called congruent angles. For example, let this is angle ABC. Angle ABC here. See, B is the vertex. Let this is 45 degrees. If it is 45 degrees, draw one more angle. It is PQR. Yes, this is P and Q, and here it is R. So this is also 45 degrees. Now, angle ABC, measure of angle ABC is 45 degrees. Measure of angle PQR is also 45 degrees. Therefore, their measures are equal. Hence, angle ABC is congruent to angle PQR. So here, measure of angle ABC is equals to measure of angle PQR. PQR, that is angle ABC is congruent to angle PQR. As their measures are equal, these two angles are congruent angles. Now, suppose there is one angle XYZ. There is one angle XYZ. Yes, this is XYZ, and let this angle is 40 degrees. It is 40 degrees. Measure of angle XYZ is 40 degrees. Measure of angle ABC is 45 degrees. Their measures are different, they are not equal. Therefore, they are not congruent angles. Is angle ABC and angle XYZ are congruent figures? Congruent angles? No. Why? Because their measures are different. That is, measure of angle ABC, which is 45 degrees, is not equals to measure of angle XYZ. Angle XYZ. Therefore, angle ABC and angle XYZ are not congruent figure, or not congruent angles, or not congruent angles. Congruent angles. So, what we can conclude from this? If the measures of any two angles is same or equal, then we can say that the two angles are congruent angles. Otherwise, they are not congruent angles. Similarly, its converse statement. If two angles are congruent, then what it is? Their measures are equal. So, we can state here it is. If two angles are congruent, if two angles are congruent, if two angles are congruent, then their measures are equal. Then their measures are equal or same. Equal or same. So this is about the congruent angles. So what are congruent angles? Angles with same measure are called congruent angles. Congruent line segments means line segments with same length are called congruent line segments. Now we studied line segments and angles. So triangle is made up of line segments and angles. So now we will continue to the congruent triangles. Yes, congruence of triangles. We saw that two line segments are congruent where one of them is just a copy of other. Similarly, two angles are congruent if one of them is a copy of the other, where this idea of we use this idea for triangles. Two triangles are congruent if they are copies of each other when superimposed, they cover each other exactly. So when we can say the two triangles are congruent triangles? If they are the copies of each other, then we can say that the two triangles are congruent triangles. You see here the two triangles ABC and triangle PQR. Here ABC and PQR. So here triangle ABC and triangle PQR have the same size and same shape. They are congruent. So we would express this as triangle ABC is congruent to triangle PQR. This means that when you place triangle PQR and triangle ABC, P falls on A, Q falls on B and R falls on C. Also PQ falls along AB, QR falls along BC and PR falls along AC. If under a given correspondence the two triangles are congruent, then their corresponding parts, that is angles and sides that match one another, are equal. Thus in two congruent triangles we have corresponding vertices, corresponding sides and corresponding angles. Yes, two congruent triangles. What are two congruent triangles? If each triangle is a copy of other triangle, then we can say that the two triangles are congruent triangles. For example, you see here, let triangle ABC. Triangle ABC is congruent to triangle PQR. So they have the same shape PQR. Here two triangles are there. Here these two triangles are congruent triangles. If these two triangles are congruent triangles, how can we express them? Triangle ABC is congruent to triangle PQR. Triangle PQR. That is, bring this PQR triangle and you place it on triangle ABC. We will find vertex P will coincide with vertex A, vertex Q will coincide with vertex B and vertex R will coincide with vertex C. That is, vertex P will coincide to vertex A and vertex Q is coincided to vertex B, vertex R is coincided to vertex C. Not only these vertices, the line segment, that is the side PQ, falls along AB. PQ side falls along the side AB. PQ will falls along the side AB and QR will falls along the side BC. Similarly, that is the PR will falls along the side AC. Will falls along the side AC. It means that so when we place this triangle PQR and triangle ABC, all the three vertices in order they will coincide, and all the three sides also of one triangle will coincide with the other side of the triangle. They will fall and they occupy the same length. Then we can say that the two triangles have the same size. The two triangles have the same size and they are for triangle shape. Therefore, the congruent triangles. Congruent triangles. So, if two triangles are congruent, then their corresponding parts, that is angles and sides. Angles and sides are equal. So, if two triangles are congruent triangles, if two triangles are congruent triangles, then their corresponding parts, that is sides and angles are equal. They are equal. Now, for triangle ABC and triangle PQR, in triangle ABC and triangle PQR, if they are congruent, that is triangle ABC PQR. Then what are the corresponding sides? The corresponding sides. So here what are the corresponding sides? As I said, PQ is falling on AB, QR is falling on BC, PR is falling on AC. Therefore, PQ is equals to AB. They are one pair of corresponding sides. PQ is equals to AB. That is, length of PQ is equals to, if it is 5 centimeters, means length of AB is also 5 centimeters. If length of AB is 6 centimeters, means length of PQ is also 6 centimeters. The other pair of corresponding sides is QR and BC. QR and BC. The third pair it is PR is equals to AC. PR is equals to AC. Now the corresponding angles. So here, what are the corresponding angles? As I said, vertex P will coincide with vertex A. Means the angle formed at vertex P is equals to the angle formed at vertex A. Similarly, the vertex Q will coincide with B. Therefore, the angle formed at Q is equals to angle formed at B. And vertex R is coincide with C. Therefore, angle R is equals to angle C. That is, angle P is equals to angle A is 1 by angle Q is equals to angle B, and angle R is equals to angle C. Angle R is equals to angle C. The corresponding angles. And we have the corresponding vertices also. Corresponding vertices. So what are the corresponding vertices? Here it is vertex A and vertex P. A and P, and B and Q, C and D. So C and R. C and R is one pair of corresponding vertices. So if two triangles are congruent triangles, means their corresponding sides and corresponding angles are equal. Here, so as I said, triangle PQR is broad and it is placed on angle ABC. Now you see that bring this triangle PQR and see that vertex P is placed on vertex B. This vertex P is placed on vertex B. It may coincide or it may not coincide. If it coincides, and it is not necessary that vertex C is coincided with Q and vertex A is coincided with R. It is not necessary, it is need not be. It may coincide or it may not coincide. So from this what we can say, for two congruent triangles, not only their corresponding sides and not only their corresponding angles, but the order in which we are placing the triangle over the other triangle. That is the order of the vertices. So here if you see, triangle ABC is congruent to triangle PQR. Here the order of vertices is ABC is congruent to triangle PQR. It may congruent to triangle QPR or it may not congruent to triangle QPR. If it is congruent to triangle ABC, then angle A is equals to angle Q, angle B is equals to angle R, and angle C is equals to angle R. Angle B is equals to angle P, and angle C is equals to angle R. So order is very much important here it is. So while we are writing in the congruent triangles, in the proper order, that order is known as correspondence. That order is known as correspondence. So in this triangle, which correspondence if we will take here this, the correspondence is A is corresponding to P and B is in correspondence to Q C is in correspondence to R. So overall what we can write, ABC is corresponding to PQR. It means A is corresponding to P is corresponding to A, B is corresponding to Q is corresponding to B, C is corresponding to R and R is corresponding to C. That is, angle A is equals to angle P, angle B is equals to angle A, angle Q is equals to angle B, angle B is equals to angle Q, angle C is equals to angle R is equals to angle C. The length of the side AB is equals to length of the side BQ, length of the side BC is equals to length of QR, length of the side AC is equals to length of the side PR. So those are the corresponding parts, that is corresponding sides and corresponding angles. So is it clear, children? Yes. So I hope you understand today's concept, and your homework is today's homework is complete exercise number 7.1. I hope you understand, and thank you very much.